free shipping and handling on everything. But also, we're celebrating our best loved brands. No brand makes it on air here at QVC unless it's already, or we anticipate will be, a national favorite. But this brand of handbags, Patricia Nash, is accelerating, if not skyrocketing, to become the favorite handbag brand here at QVC. We are challenged, though, in how frequently and how much of this brand we can bring in. For the detail, the attention to old world craftsmanship, the love that is put in every single one of these bags. These cannot be cranked out by machines. And therefore, when we do have the treat of bringing in a brand new style, it's an exciting day. This is our today's special value from Patricia Nash. And you'll notice as we go through the choices that it's like having multiple different bags in one because of the choices of material. I'm showing you right now this rich Italian solid nubuck leather in what is called the Fox choice. And I'll be taking you through everything from nubuck to cutout to high polished leather with prints. It's going to be hard choosing. But not to put too much pressure on, you'll need to choose early because our friends who were shopping at midnight and 7 a.m. already made their choices. And one of our choices went into advanced order, and then that advanced order sold out completely. We do have an option right now that has moved into advanced order as well. And this being one of the most highly viewed shows of the entire week means if you're ready to treat yourself on a bag that is supposed to be $300 or more, today is the day to do it. So I'm going to take you through the choices. We'll talk about this value. If you know Patricia Nash, you know a $35 easy pay is pretty much unheard of. And leather handbags, not uncommon to see, $10, $12, $15 shipping and handling. We have free shipping and handling today. So treating yourself is even easier to do. I'm going to start right up here at the top. And I'm going to show you this choice because it is one of the ones that is now in advanced order. And that will ship to you September 6th. This is the Tiger choice. So you've been listening probably to the quantities that Kirsten and I have been literally shouting out our apologies, and how many items have either sold out already or are about to. We have 1,800 remaining in our only advanced order in the Tiger leather option. When that sells out, there is no October advanced order, there is no November advanced order. You're saving $125 on this beautiful Tiger choice, but you need to order quickly. Okay, let's go ahead and move down to our other print and leather, and this is the rich, the beautiful rustic mums. It's popular, and there's actually a really beautiful and romantic story behind the inspiration of this rustic mum print. And I'm going to keep moving it because sorry that the leather is so lustrous that it reflects the light back so beautifully, but that is the quality of this leather. And to me, while everyone is perfect for autumn and beyond, seeing these tones, almost like it were hand painted in the mums, that's going to be a perfect choice for you. Okay, we have two, and I'm going to move this around so I can spin one to the next. Two of these leathers that have this cutout. So it's been embossed and debossed to show you all of the highs and lows in the leather and how rich it is, but also how it becomes a window into the metallic beyond. This is going to be your smoke cutout. And we'll talk about the tassel detailing, the hand roping on the handles, so much more to discuss, but let's keep moving. This rich, beautiful brown is called your British tan cutout. Tell me, just from that shot alone, the quality of the leather, that gold metallic leather underneath, the embossing in the leather, and all of the details. If I told you this were a $900 handbag, I think a lot of people would believe me. They probably wouldn't buy because it's too far out of reach. Look at this bag for $174.48. Okay. Then we have two solid choices, and I'm in love with both of them, so don't ask me to declare an official favorite. This green is your dark green nubuck. You can see the nap as I move my hand back and forth. It is so rich. It's so soft. You know just by touching it that that is true luxury. Look at that. It's almost like you could write your name in it. Okay, and then, oh guys, the one that I'm holding, it is like rust or brick. That perfect, like if you look at a pile of leaves and you go, that one, that's the one I'm picking up and I'm taking home, I'm going to press into a scrapbook. This is called the Fox Nubuck. There are 1,200 remaining that can ship right now in the Fox Nubuck. That will almost, do we have advanced order after that in this one? Okay. That will almost certainly move into advanced order, if not in the show, very, very soon. So if you want this fox, you know what to do. QVC.com. Now, I said this at the start of the show, and I'll say this now. I love when we have a retail value to show you what you might find elsewhere, you know, and comparing the prices. And they're always accurate, but I like taking it one step further and showing you what our own price will be. And when this today's special value price expires, our price will be $299. Your TSV price right now is $125 less than that. 5 easy pays on everything, $34.90. Free shipping and handling on everything. So the price you see is the price you pay. If you're picking it up today, call us, 1-800-395-1601. This is a treat yourself that doesn't have the sting of a treat yourself price tag. And it is also a luxury handbag that you don't just save for luxury occasions because there's so much organization inside. It's brought to us by a woman who has made both designing handbags and travel her passion, and she brings her experiences, her inspiration into every bag she creates for QVC. Patricia Nash, congratulations on such another successful Today's Special Value, and I'm so honored to present it with you today. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I mean, I just have chills looking at this bag because this was a real pet of mine. Just the materials, the classic shape of a satchel. But when you're going through all these materials, the leathers, they just all have such an amazing story. And you even had that tiger bag backwards, where you saw the back of it, and your bag too. So if you like the back of it, ladies, you're gonna love the front of it because it has those beautiful tassels. Yeah, isn't that funny? That there's the tassels on it, just like all the rest of them. But really, it is. This is a classic satchel. It's been around for decades. Whether it was in the U.S. or in Europe, that it became very famous with some very high-end royalty and movie star women. We have grown to love this silhouette, but it wasn't always so functional. It just usually had just a zip on the top, and that was it. Mm-hmm. So I love bringing all this old-world craftsmanship, but with such functionality. So I'm sure we're going to go through that, and you're going to see that this bag will organize you, even if you're not the type that
I agree
as well.
And what I'm going to do, actually, Patricia, if you don't mind, since I have you joining me now, and it's not 100 different choices, I'd love to go through the choices again. Sure. And anything you want to kind of interject on each one, let's do that, and then we'll dive inside of the bag and give a tour. And I also want to go through them because 2 of our most popular choices in this presentation have been most popular since the beginning of the day, and I'm a little concerned about the quantities that we have remaining. So this tiger, even though it's in advanced order, and I love that it's actually not that long too. I mean, we're almost at the end of August, and it's September 6th that you're waiting to ship, so no big deal. But there it is in the tiger.
Yeah. So beautiful. Look at the
$1,700 now remain to ship.
I mean, I love the black leather that's trimmed in that. It just makes it oozes just in richness. I mean, that bag looks like it is so expensive. And I love the color of it, the cognacs and that rusty color and camels in there. I mean, it's just so rich.
I mean, I heard you mention earlier that hair calf would have been obviously an option in this.
Yes.
But I love how you still see the strokes in that print as though it mimics what it would have looked like in, and obviously less maintenance than you would have had in the hair calf. So I super appreciate that.
Yeah, that was my challenge. My challenge was, can I do something more affordable?
Right.
And that was able to do it. And then here's the Italian nubuck.
This nubuck.
This comes from a tannery in Santa Croce, Italy. And actually, a woman just asked or called into my office this morning after she saw the show, and she said, is this water resistant? Yes, it is. I could demonstrate right now and pour water on it, and it would just bead off this bag. So it is water resistant, easy to care for. But this beautiful article was made for me from a family that's 3rd generation tannery, 2nd largest in Santa Croce, and I asked them for this fox. 2 reasons: the leaves in the fall, but also a fox. If you've ever seen the color on the fox's head, it gets this really rusty,
fiery
beautiful.
Red. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the best way I can describe this color, and that's why I called it fox.
And Mike, I'm sorry, how many remain in the fox? 1,200 to ship right now in the fox. It is kind of sort of flying out of here. On that same note then, in the nubuck,
Yes.
this dark green, like rich
Isn't it?
emerald.
Yeah, it is. It takes on a different hue. It can even look a little dark tealy. You know, it's just a really unique green. I was inspired by really England, where you see this color a lot in people's vests and leather goods in general. It's just a color that is very symbolistic of symbolic, I should say, of England. And so that color is just beautiful. And green happens to be a big trend color, so we're
Every
in luck.
year, I feel. Okay, so we have two of these
Yeah.
gorgeous cutouts. This is the smoke.
Yes. This smoke is like a dark charcoal, or you could call it a soft black. It's really a great alternative to that, but this article is so beautiful. This is what I call vintage veg tan. This is vegetable tan leather, one of the best top quality leathers you can find, and it could never take that punishment of that embossing and debossing, which is all done by heat, that cutting out, and looks so beautiful. If you look at the sides of that bag, I mean, you really see the leather on the back or the sides, the glistening of it, the patina of it. It's just a really beautiful piece of leather.
You also get
And
a
that's
sense
the
of how much capacity you're going to have in there too, which we
Yes.
are about to get into. And then this has been very popular, the mum. So
Yes.
this is your rustic mum.
Yeah, I mean, every time I see that, it reminds me of that trip again to the Cotswolds, which is north of London, in the countryside, and going to those villages. And I found this dress in this little village shop, and all my prints are typically inspired by old vintage clothing. And I saw this dress, and it was so rich with all of these beautiful berry colors and the cognac and like leaves of the fall, that I bought it, and I worked with it and put it on this leather. And I think it's just so romantic, beautiful. It looks like a painting.
It is hard to believe that this is on an easy pay of $34.90. We're going to come over to me. I'm holding the British tan
Yes.
cutout, and then we're going to dive inside. But here you see, I mean, here's where I can use words to describe the color. When this camera takes it in, I mean, there's something about this particular color of this British tan that looks like money.
Yeah, that's authentic British tan. That's why it's called that. If you go to Britain, Great Britain, and you see a lot of the saddles or the leather handbags, they have this rich color, and they call it British tan. So I really captured that from a vintage saddle that I actually got in England and brought it back to America, cut up the bottom of it, and took it to tanneries in different parts of the world to create this leather.
All right, Patricia, I know everybody's wanting to get inside of here, and I'll tell you that it's
Yes.
13.5 inches long, 9 3/4 of an inch high, and 5.5 inches wide. But it is your ability to give us organization and capacity in what looks like a true work of art that makes this a must-have.
Yes, you've got 3 compartments inside. So you've got the front compartment that has the 2 elastic pockets, fantastic for putting your eyeglasses or whatever you want not to get scratched. The lining is a beautiful faux leather, kind of like a micro suede,
Soft.
cognac color, so you could see everything. It's a brushed microfiber. And then you got the middle zip, which is fantastic because it goes all the way across the bag, so it's generous. Mouth opens up. You can fit lots of bigger things in there. Good size wallet.
Dust cover.
There's your dust bag. Yes, that comes with that. And then the back compartment has a zip wall on the very back all the way across, which really comes in handy. You can put your papers in there, your checkbook, whatever else, notepad. Just really great organization here. And then on the back of the bag, you have a good mag snap pocket that is so deep and wide enough to hold the largest of all phones. So that is super convenient. Or your passport when you start to travel again, and all those kind of things. But this is a fantastic bag, and it only weighs about 2 pounds,
It's
I
2
believe.
pounds. It's
Yeah,
2 pounds,
so-
even with all of that being that solid
Yes.
leather, that rich lining that's on the inside. The handles
Yes.
even, I think the attention to detail on these handles, and you
Yeah.
see how they look almost to be carved. But this is, I
Wait,
think, a
now-
really good example of that old world craftsmanship.
Absolutely. I mean, the handle is actually a twisted rope inside, and then they stretch the leather over it. They sew it with a single stitch machine, and then they burn the edges. Because our leather is hand cut, it will have that fray of that thick hide. And so that's how they would do it in Italy or even in America many, many decades ago. So I've taken that same old world craftsmanship, and I try to duplicate every single step. by hand.
Thank you so much for having the handles actually slide all the way down when I
Yeah.
go to A, open it up, or B, use the
That's
crossbody
right.
strap, which you can completely remove. If you want to hold this by the handles, you want to put it kind of like in